Hi, I'm Chris Daly. I'm with S10 Fitness. I'm over here at WeckMethod. I'm with Hannah. I'm going to be taking her through a two-part, kind of a superset using the BOSU Elite. And we're using it to have a practical application to a little more proficiency with a potential running client or somebody who wants to have better rotational movement in general. And we're just going to keep it super simple and 2 easy cues per movement. And we'll see how it applies to just a normal gait or run assessment. So we'll start easy. So both parts of this is just going to be very client interactive with the trainer and very easy application based on their feedback. So all I want you to do first and foremost would be to kind of stay in our traditional power zone position. And the first exercise you're going to run is a more compression style squat. So for people who are unaware, we're basically trying to create some compressive forces using the elasticity of this BOSU to get more recruitment through here and through the glutes. So most people could always use that. There's never anybody I've ever met who had too strong of a butt to be good for them. So it will always help. So let's get her in position. And basically, there's the right way, the wrong way, and your way to do this. And we're going to find the best presentation for Hannah. Yeah. And we're going to wait till you go by feel. So there's some guidelines, like you want to have as close to a 45-degree position with the feet. You want to try to keep a shin angle that's pretty congruent with their lower back. And there's things that could be brought into detail on other videos, but with this one we're going super simple, and we're just going to go practical application to user.
Real quick, Huang, zoom in on that and focus in on that diagram real quick so people can see. That's the goal, that stance right there. And the green dots are where we want to compress through, just so everybody could see that. That's a real helpful diagram. All right, bring it on back. So, bring it on back.
Contrary to mainstream, you're allowed to have the compressive forces in those green dots, and we're not going to be worried about the heel pressure. This is not a booty building DVD. This is a completely separate endeavor. But it will be.
But you get a hotter booty.
Yeah, you'll actually have a stronger booty DVD for this. Yeah. So just trust me. Yeah. Believe it when you feel it. Right. So she's going to take her position, and what I'm going to be looking for is for her to have some standard compression through those green dots, and then she's going to start to lower herself until she feels some recruitment through the glutes and slightly through the adduction. So she's going to let the knees drift apart slightly. And then what I've done in the past is I either give somebody something for balance if they're not as adept, or I will just give them some light fingertip pressure. So easy position would be just use this as like a slight counterweight, so you can have that slight shift back. And now with the compressive forces you're feeling, do you have glute recruitment?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, she's an athlete, so she knows what to look for.
Yes.
So in certain instances where you don't have an athlete, you may have to use some hand pressure. So we'll mimic what it would look like if you're working with somebody who's a little less in control of their muscles. So I can give her just a light fingertip pressure here, and then she can go down and find whatever she needs. And then as she finds it, she can maintain that compressive force and give me just a little feedback through the hands when she needs. So all I'm doing here is just a light balancing safety net. But the idea is to compress as hard as you possibly can until your face changes, which it just does, and then slowly work your way up out of the position. And then you maintain that max contraction. So right now you would say glutes are on, right?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Okay, yes. So phase 1, pretty simple application.
Yes.
Phase 2 is bringing in what we're going to be working on extensively is more lat recruitment and more rotational force production.
Coiling core.
Coiling core. So the secondary position for her is we're going to have her hop off, and using the same exact piece of equipment, we'll just flip this bad boy around.
Ah, yes, he flipped it around because it's designed for a reason. So you come in here real quick. See this, that honeycomb right there, that's going to ensure that you put your hands in the right position, give you the grip to do it. Thank you.
So all the work has been primarily done for you, which I really like, and it'll be a great teaching tool for all the coaches like myself. Is you can't mess it up if you have guidelines. This is the diagram already on here. Now for her, what I've noticed with a couple of people that I've worked with is there's a little bit of wiggle room between where you find the tipping point and where you can create the max rotational force. So what I would encourage is that you can create some positional hand placement right about here and here. And then what I've done is I've started people from the knees into this kind of a sternal-like position. And then once they're comfortable here, this is what I would consider my 3 o'clock and my 9 o'clock for you. And then as I come into it, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to attempt to slide this whole operation to one side. And then I'm going to elevate my hips. And I don't want you to think about pushing down. I want you to think about trying to pop the ball completely with compression. So it's 3, 2, 1, relax. And you'll get an intense contraction down here in the bottom of the lat. And based on your hip position, you may even get some way, way down in here.
Okay.
So then you'll have your 3-second popping force here. 3, 2, 1. And then you'll slide the whole operation. You'll really get that coil to go. And then I'm trying to meet my hands together in the middle. 3, 2, 1, and then relax. So let's have her try to find it.
The hands are literally coming like that. Fingers are facing each other.
Okay. On my nails.
So you're gonna go basically like sternum here.
Okay.
And then that's her
A little
9
higher
o'clock.
up.
She'll be further forward, so you, a little more. So that would be like your tipping point.
And her feet are wide.
Feet are wide for
the reason
stability.
the feet are wide is because we want the base of the lat here.
Okay, so now if she's at the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock position, what I'm encouraging is that she slides this hand down to here and see how she rotates without letting the legs really move.
Yeah, that's right.
So you get this huge rotation in the spine, and then now I want her to think pop. And then you want to fight this position here. So you get that contraction right there.
You got that contraction,
good.
and then you can lean into it
Yep.
and put your elbow to your butt, and you get right there. You got it, Hannah?
Yeah.
Good.
So this is probably a max 5-second contraction
Yeah.
if you can handle it doing it correctly.
Yeah.
Then rotate nice and neat and coil, coil, coil to the other side. And now think, you're fighting this pressure and this pressure together, and you're getting a massive contraction on this side to match and pair it up.
It's incredibly intense.
And that's probably about all you can
Yeah,
do.
yeah, exactly.
So between those two, now pop up.
And
You've gotten
and-
the glutes on
yeah.
and the lats on, so I'll get out of her way and she could run.
And all she does now is head over foot running. So you just run head over foot, boom, 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 boom. And now what we have, we'll talk about the compression forces here. So,
Right.
so basically, elasticity is one of our favorite things at WeckMethod. So we use it for coiling core and we use it for compression. So you don't think of a BOSU ball as an unstable surface in this gym because we don't use it with the platform side up. That's to inflate it.
Right.
So what we do is we put it down here, dome side up, and now it's about how intense I can compress the resistance. This is a lot firmer than the original BOSU ball, which is also a compressive resistance tool
Right.
because it's stable. That's not an unstable device. And that compression to limit force, where it's an isoelastic, is exciting the nervous system to fire more force faster. And that's the key. Because now the elasticity is providing this highly charged resistance that gets the adductors turned on through the bottom of the feet. So now they become flexors and extensors. The 4 carryover effects. Light feet because the adductors, balance on the balls of the feet, glutes engaged, and a better squat.
Yeah.
So, and I want to talk about that in another video with you, the application to squat.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think about how many exercises just the compression squat can replace, it could be incredibly time management wise a big value. You don't have to have the lateral adduction, the lateral abduction, the leg press, the hack squat, the hamstring curl, the leg extension, and you're creating athletic muscular recruitment, which has immediate carryover. So a lot of people spend time, a girl or a guy will go through an entire leg routine and then finish up with a run, where in pure theory, if you went down and really activated all the muscles that were meant for running with these styles of movements, you can get a way harder run without segmenting your body like, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
Absolutely.
He's trying to connect everything together with simple movements. And with just those two, you basically can be right now ready very fast, and it almost applies to any athlete, beginner, intermediate, or advanced.
Well, the more advanced you are, the fewer reps and time under tension you can do because it's so intense.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the more you compress it, the faster the force gets, right? Think of slingshot. Like it's this fast, but now it's that fast, and now it's this fast.
There's no beating this.
You
Eventually,
cannot-
you can
yeah.
overcome a resistance if you're strong enough.
Yeah, Donnie
There's-
Thompson can't beat that.
And if Donnie Thompson can't beat it, nobody's beating it.
If Donnie Thompson can't, Super D can't beat it, nobody can beat it, right?
So it's very versatile, but
Well-
it's also very teachable.
Well, and yes, and the other thing is that, like you said, it's a primer. So we'll do another video about the squat. So we're going to talk specifically about that because in no time at all, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Up at Cal Poly, that's what Holder does with his athletes. They hop on here, they do 3 sets of compression, boom, now you're ready to go do your squats, your kettlebells, all your other stuff you're going to do.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you,
Hannah.
Hannah.
Thank you.